Guy Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my Buckeyes Week 3 game preview. As this week, the 2-0 Ohio State Buckeyes welcome the 2-0 Western Kentucky Hilltoppers to the Horseshoe in what will be their first ever meeting. Now, I believe this is the 13th team since 2012 that the Buckeyes will be facing for the first time ever. And honestly, you love to see it. I love seeing new teams that we've never faced before on the schedule. You know, it brings intrigue. Now, doing a little background research on the Hilltoppers, historically, they've actually been a really good team. I believe they've been D1 for 15 years. They started off in the Sun Belt in 2009. And then after a couple years in the Fun Belt, they jumped to the Conference USA in 2014. They had this guy named Jeff Brom as their coach for a couple years before, of course, he would head to Purdue. Before Brom, you had Bobby Petrino and Willie Taggart. How about that? But in 2019, they hired Tyson Helton, who has arguably been their most successful coach. They have won 9 games in 3 of the last 4 years. And they've been to a bowl game every year with Helton as their coach. In fact, they're 3-1 in bowl games. They won the First Responder Bowl in 2019. They lost the Lending Tree Bowl in 2020. They went 5-7. How crazy is that? The one year they don't win 9 games. They still make a bowl game, but they lose. The next year, they go 9-5. They win the Boca Raton Bowl. And then last year, they go 9-5 and they win the New Orleans Bowl. So how much you want to bet they go 9-5 again? We'll see. But they're already 2-0. And you look at what they've done so far this season. They beat USF 41-24 and they beat Houston Christian 52-22. Now, those games, they definitely lit it up through the air. 29 receptions, 336 yards, 2 tutties, one coming from Dalvin Smith and one coming from Musa Berry. And then on the ground, they ran all over USF. 23 carries, 129 yards, 2 tutties, one from Austin Reed, the quarterback, and one from Marquise Stepp. Now, you look at what they've done against Houston Christian, and I was saying they lit them up through the air, talking about USF. Oh boy. 32 receptions, 318 yards, 5 touchdowns against HCU. One from Easton Messer, one from Jimmy Holiday, one from former Buckeye commit Blue Smith, and one from, who's the name? River Helms? That's a badass name. And also, Denzel Aline had one as well. Wow. So yeah, they were distributing that ball really good against little old HCU. Then you look at what they did on the ground. 25 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown from Austin Reed. Yep. So yeah, they were getting it done against Houston Christian. Now, you're looking at a weakness for Western Kentucky. It's definitely their defense because against South Florida, they lit them up through the air, but my God, did they get crushed on the ground. 61 carries, 374 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both coming from the quarterback for USF, Byram Brown. Byram Brown had 25 carries, 160 yards. And then through the air, Byram was 15 of 34, 166 yards, 1 tutty, 2 picks. The way South Florida, 15 receptions, 166 yards through the air. My God, giving up 160 on the ground to the quarterback? Damn. Now, luckily for Western Kentucky, uh, Kyle McCord isn't really a runner. Now, if we were to face them 2 years ago or so when we had Justin Fields, they would have been in trouble. But no, Kyle's not really a runner per se. He's not like Justin Fields, but I'm sure he can still skedaddle if needed. Now, you're probably wondering, what did Houston Christian do to Western Kentucky? Oh, they didn't do that much. I mean, 35 carries, 155 on the ground, one touchdown. Through the air, 18 receptions, 213 yards, two touchdowns. I mean, they still got to him, but my God, South Florida. Damn. That's tough, man. Now, if there are any Western Kentucky fans out there wondering, what are we up against when it comes to Ohio State? Well, let me just say this. Ohio State has a very, very good offense. I mean, just look at what we did last week to Youngstown State through the air. 21 receptions, 359 yards, two tutties, or three tutties. Two tutties coming from Marvin Harrison Jr., who is a projected top 3 pick. And then Emeka Egbuka. Don't sleep on him. He had a touchdown of his own. But yeah, it was all Marvin Harrison last week. They're going to have their hands full on defense. Not to mention, Travion Henderson is looking like he used to when he first got to Ohio State. He's looking healthy and he's looking fast as hell. Last week, 5 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nice. So they're going to have their hands full, as are we, because, of course, Western Kentucky's offense is actually very good. You look at their roster on offense, their receivers are nice. By the way, their best receiver, Malachi Corley, who is on the thumbnail of this video, he's coming back this week. Got hurt week 1, didn't play last week. He's back. So again, we're going to have our hands full. I'm excited. Of course, they have Blue Smith, Craig Burt, Musa Berry. I've already mentioned them. But yeah, I think one of the big things this week is we got to get after Austin Reed, the quarterback. We have to. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we don't get to him, if JT and Jack and them ain't getting pressure on Austin, we're going to be in trouble. I mean, our secondary has been phenomenal, but this is definitely the biggest test of the year for us so far. Now, hopefully, the Buckeyes aren't caught looking to next week because we got Notre Dame next week on the road. So hopefully, they focus on what's ahead of them right now and they go out there, they take care of business, and they get to 3-0, and then they focus on the Golden Domers coming up next week. I am very excited for this game coming up. I can't freaking wait. Now, with that being said, let's get on to my 3 keys to a Buckeye dub this Saturday at 4 p.m. Key number 1, get Kyle going early. By the way, he was officially named the legit starting quarterback. So we're probably not going to see Devin Brown. I mean, we might see him maybe once in a while, but we're not going to see him, that much, if at all, anymore, which is nice. Let Kyle get all the first team reps, right? Because that could have hampered our growth so far. Having to use 2 quarterbacks might have ruined the flow. Well, now Kyle's the guy. Let's get him going early and let's torture their defense. And obviously establish the run. Because once the run game gets going, that opens up the play action, and that puts their defense in even more hell because they don't know what's coming. Number 2, this is the big one. Lock in on defense. No messing around. Western Kentucky's offense is actually very good. I need the BIA to be locked tight. Be on your man, right? Don't be out here falling for double moves and whatnot. Make sure you know your assignment. And number 3, this is the big one. No turnovers. Don't give their offense any more plays than they're already going to get. Because most likely they're going to do what Indiana and especially Youngstown State did, and that is just hog the ball. They're going to eat up clock with these new clock rules. They're going to make sure that Kyle and company stay on the sideline. That's how you essentially can beat us right now. If you're outmatched by us, I mean, we can't kill you if we're on the sideline, unless you're getting killed by the defense. I will say, so far, I've liked what our defense has done. The only thing I kind of am concerned with is our lack of pressure from the edge. JT and Jack just ain't doing it right now. But where they're lacking, that's where the interior D line really comes up big. Michael Hall has been a beast. Tyreek Williams has been great. We need to see more Curry, right? Caden Curry. But yeah, we'll see what the linebackers do too, because they're as big in the situation as the rest of the guys, especially Eichenberg. But yeah, by the way, I heard Proctor will be back this week, so awesome. That'll be great for us. And I want to see Sonny make some more plays. Sonny Styles is a freak in a good way. But yeah, those are my 3 keys to a Buckeye dub. Now my players to watch. On offense, Marvin Harrison Jr. On defense, Denzel Burke. Because most likely, he'll be matched up with Corley. And he's been playing really well so far this year. I want to see him do it again. Go out there and lock up Corley. You know, hopefully Knowles doesn't play a lot of zone. I've noticed he's had the corners sagging off a little bit, giving these receivers free run for like the first 10 or so yards. Like, come on, the freaking pass rushers can't get there if the quarterback's getting rid of the ball super quick. You got to be on these guys like right in their face like this. Play a little press man. Put faith in your corners. Because if that quarterback has to wait, that gives your pass rushers time to get there. And you might force a turnover. Okay? Okay. I understand why you're doing it. You're not trying to get beat deep. But, I mean, these corners are all elite level. You should be able to trust them to be able to cover their man long enough for the pass rushers to get home. But yeah, I think Denzel Burke is going to be key in this game. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure he'll be matched up with Corley. Now, as far as my game prediction, I've kind of been off a little bit lately. But for my game prediction this week, I got the Buckeyes winning 35-14. I know it's kind of low for us. Usually against these kind of opponents, we like to put up 50 plus. But like I said earlier, these teams have been essentially keeping the ball away from our offense, keeping our offense off the field. I mean, these new clock rules have just changed everything when it comes to how we play these games. Because in the old days, we would just run up the score on these guys. But now, teams are just playing keep away against us, right? I mean, they're like, well, we're outmatched. I mean, they can't kill us if they're on the sideline. That's why I'm saying we need to force turnovers, man. Get our offense extra possessions out there to further weaken their defense, right? And keep their offense off the field, too. That's another thing there, too. Keep their offense off the field and start stacking some scores against them. Put them in a very precarious position where they can't really run the ball. They have to throw it. And that'll let our pass rushers pin their ears back and really try to get after them. I have confidence that Knowles will cook up a good game plan, but we'll see what happens. And hopefully the Buckeyes get a dub. They should be able to get a dub, but you never know. You never know. I mean, for all we know, they might catch us looking to next week and they might get a fast one on us. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. As always, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow on the main channel for what should be a pretty exciting game against Western Kentucky. But yeah, guys, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you guys tomorrow. Go Bucks! I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. OH, I'm out. Go Bucks! Beat Western Kentucky. And then it's on to Notre Dame. It's going to be fun. Bye-bye.